Chelsea's Premier League season arguably starts now, as the Blues travel to Molineux for game week 2 of the season to take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Can we gain our first 3 points and kickstart our season? Let's find out. Lads, lasses and the rest of the masses, welcome back to the lead-in. Let's go. Let's firstly set the scene. It's Chelsea versus Wolves, a fixture that has been a bit of a sore patch for our pride in recent history. Chelsea have only one win in our last 8 versus this opposition, with us losing home and away last season. Wolves' start to the season parallels ours in many ways. They haven't started particularly well, losing their first game 2-0 after being matched against a very strong team. In their case it was Arsenal, who rather easily dispatched them last week. Ahead of the new season, their team has changed a fair bit, mainly negatively in my opinion. The obvious departure was Pedro Neto, who has jumped ship to us, but they have also lost mainstay of their defence Max Kilman to West Ham. In terms of incomings, it isn't really much better. They've made Tommy Doyle a permanent acquisition, as well as bringing in Rodrigo Gomez from Braga, ex-Chelsea transfer target Pedro Lima, and Jorgen Strand Larsen on a loan from Celta Vigo. None of the names are particularly scary to me, and I think they've lost more than they've gained. We'll have to see who they decide to field, so that being said, let's take a look at the possible lineups for this Wolves team and see what we will be up against. Firstly, let's talk absentees. The Old Gold team have a few players that won't be available for this one. Nelson Semedo is serving a suspension, so is ineligible to play, and there are still long-term injuries to Sasa Kalajic, Leon Chiwonye, and Enzo Gonzalez. Ryan Ait-Nouri had a small problem in the dying moments of that game versus Arsenal, but should be fit for this one. I'll be putting Gary O'Neill's side into a pretty standard 4-2-3-1 like they played versus Arsenal, with a few tweaks here or there. First up in goal though is going to be their number 1 choice and mainstay of the team, Jose Sarr. The defence is going to be unchanged from that Arsenal tie, so starting on the right will be Mac Doherty once again, filling in for the suspended Semedo. The centre-back partnership is a combination of Yerson Mosquera on the right, who will be trying to stay out of trouble in this one I'd imagine, and Totti Gomes on the left. Finally, finishing off the backline will be Ryan Ait-Nouri, though I do see a world in which Doherty plays here with Pedro Lima on the right if the Algerian's injury prevents him from starting. Moving into the midfield, we'll start with the deeper midfielders. On the right side, I'm going to be opting for Joao Gomes once again, and on the left will be Mario Lemina, who was arguably their best player last time out. Moving into the more advanced midfield roles, this is where I expect there to be a little change. No difference on the right though, as Hee-Chan Hwang starts at right wing once again. In the centre, I'm opting to rotate Bellegarde out for Mateusz Cunha, who can play in this 10 pretty comfortably, and over on the left it's once again going to be their new signing, Rodrigo Gomes, who had a few sparkling moments on that left wing last match. And finally, up top in the striker position is going to be another man they signed this season, the previously mentioned Strand Larsen, who was unlucky not to score after he was denied by Raya in the previous match. That's just a brief look at what their team could look like. As it's early days into the season, this could well change as teams figure out their strongest starting 11s. Now let's turn our attention to Chelsea and see what our lineup for this game could be. There are a few absentees for us in this one, most notably Reece James, who's still serving his suspension. New signing Joao Felix isn't yet ready to feature according to our head coach, and Sterling and Chilwell are on their way out and won't feature, but apart from that, every player is fit to play tomorrow. I'll be putting Enzo Maresca's Chelsea team in the 4-3-3 formation once again, and I'm going to be fielding a slightly rotated but strong side. Starting with the goalkeeper, I'm going to be putting in Philip Jorgensen once again. He was voted player of the match last time out and had a very comfortable 90 minutes. After the shaky start Sanchez had, I'd like to see him play against tougher opposition and see how well he performs. For the back four, this is going to be the exact same back four that started versus City, so starting on the right is going to be Malo Gusto once again. The centre-back duo consists of Wesley Fofana and Levi Colwill, who were both rested against Servette. And finally, on the left is going to be Marc Cucurella, who will no doubt be hoping to keep his good form going. Moving into the midfield, we'll start with holding role. After he was rested against Servette, there's no doubt that Romeo Lavia starts here. Ahead of him, I'd expect to see Enzo Fernandez, who came off the bench to assist last time out, but I'm going to be opting to play Cole Palmer in the middle here instead of Moises Caicedo, who basically played the full 90 last time out. That has implications further forward, as that means that starting on the right wing will be scorer last time out Noni Madueke, who I believe has earned his place in the team. On the left, this is a bit of a tricky one, but I'm going to be going with Pedro Neto over Nkunku, as I believe he's more suited to playing on the wing, despite Enzo Maresca alluding to his possible fitness issues. Finally, up top will be Nicholas Jackson, who didn't get any minutes in midweek. He'll be looking to do what he couldn't do last season and bag a goal or two against Wolves this time around. Now, as I have been doing in these videos, let's touch on a few substitutes I'd like to see Enzo Maresca make in this game. We get to make 5 substitutes as ever, so the 5 players I'd like to see get some involvement are Christopher Nkunku, who managed to score his first Chelsea goal versus Wolves, Moises Caicedo, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, Renato Vega, and last but not least, Mark Guiu, who will be hoping to put that miss behind him. Apart from that, I think this is a solid team and is more than enough to get a win here against a team that we need to be beating if we want to be contenders for top 4. So those are my lineups, and I'd love to hear from you guys too. So for today's comment question of the day, answer me this. If you could make a Chelsea 5-a-side team, which players would you choose and why? Let me know in the comments down below with QOTD at the start as always, and I'll heart my favourite answers. Now let's take a look at how Chelsea can navigate this game tactically and see how we can beat Wolves in this game. Before we go any further, in case you missed it, memberships are now available on the channel. For as low as 99p a month, you can become a member by clicking the join button below the video and unlock access to exclusive perks such as badges, emotes, and my members only Discord, where I'll be running my FPL mini league where you can compete to win prizes, as well as watch bonus videos that I can't put here on YouTube, and more. I really hope to create a thriving community in the server, and the money goes directly to supporting me and the channel, so if you're interested, become a member today and join the masses. Now let's get back to the video. So here we have the predicted 11 that I put out, and this might look a bit strange at first, but this will obviously change around in game, and that's why I've kind of set it up this way. We've seen many different variations of this system under Enzo Maresca so far, but for this game in particular, I expect us to use the diamond variant that we've kind of seen in the past. So for us to do that, we obviously need to move Gusto into this right centre mid position with the centre backs shifting across. And Marc Cucurella will be playing in this kind of left centre-back, left-back role that he's kind of occupied before. And what that allows us to do is then take Palmer playing in this midfield position and push him into the 10, with obviously Enzo dropping a bit deeper and then Gusto playing here and Lavia staying as the 6. And when Palmer's in this 10, obviously he can roam around like Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall used to do when he was playing here. And also he can be the one that's going to press up with the striker, and obviously we know how good Palmer is at pressing from the front. And this, in general, I think is a better structure, in my opinion, because it helps get our most important players in the system into familiar, suitable positions, with Enzo obviously playing in a bit of a deeper role where he can dictate play and playmake. Palmer is central and able to create chances from a central position, which we know he's very good at. And Madueke, who I personally think is really, really important to this system and will be quite important in this game in particular, can stay really, really wide and utilise his dribbling to take on his fullback, which in this case it will be Ait Nouri. This system is quite flexible though, and because we are opting to play Cucurella here, we could see something slightly different, which is with the opposite way around, where we invert Cucurella, and obviously if Gusto stays on this right hand side, which we haven't seen yet, but we could see this. We could see a different kind of scenario where Lavia comes over to this right hand side with Cucurella inverting, and then Palmer and Enzo could play in this kind of box midfield rather than the diamond. But I'm not sure if this is very plausible, and obviously Enzo would probably be better suited playing on this right hand side if that were the case, but I digress. Obviously we've seen Renato Vega recently play in this left hand sided inverted role, so it's not out of the question that we could be inverting this side as well. Obviously we've mainly seen the right side invert, but we have seen the left side invert as well, so maybe that's an option that we could do as well. Now let's talk about Wolves. We obviously got beaten home and away by them last season, but at least this time we have less selfish forwards. Anyway, we know how Wolves will try and play against us. They are a phenomenal counter-attacking team with lots of pace down the wings and a solid base as well. In this 4-2-3-1, I kind of expect them to fall, which obviously they have the 2 holding midfielders here, the 3 players up top. I expect them to kind of fall into a 4-2-2 of some description, with obviously the striker and whoever's in the 10 kind of occupying these 2 roles up top, the 2 holding midfielders being here deeper with their wingers obviously playing really deep, and their back 4 playing almost entirely in their own box, very, very, very deep. And the kind of idea of them doing this is to not only absorb pressure with this deep block, but to kind of make the centre of the pitch really impossible to play through and very, very congested. And obviously with our most creative players playing in this central role, I think that that's basically what they'll try and do, is nullify players like Palmer or Nkunku or KDH, whoever is playing here, and then be able to break on us and go down the wings. Specifically, they really like to break down the wings, and we saw this kind of same thing happen against Servette in our last game, and it's kind of what I alluded to that they would do. I think Wolves are going to do the exact same thing, but they've got a bit more quality about them, so this could be quite a dangerous prospect considering how well Servette played against us. And as we are a team that likes to keep possession and play fairly slowly, we'll kind of feed into this game plan, admittedly, but I think our solution to this is pretty simple. We have to bypass this block by going around it on the wings. We can't obviously play through the centre, we're going to have to try and go around. And I think this is kind of part of their plan, so they want us to go around to the outside and into the wide areas, because they feel like that's not as dangerous as playing through the centre. But I think that's kind of a mistake on their part, because our wingers are very, very good at beating their men. We've already seen how good Pedro Neto can be with that little burst of acceleration he's got. Obviously, we know how good Madueke is at taking on this man, and I think he in particular is going to be very, very important for this game. And I've spoken in the past, and I've spoken a lot about it in the past, how this system and this 3-2-5 that we played under Poch, but also this new 3-4-3 type thing that we're doing under Maresca, is very good at pushing the wingers very, very wide and stretching the opposition. Now, the idea of this is mainly to kind of drag out the fullbacks and try and create these more these bigger gaps here to have more space to play in. And I've already spoken about this, but in this new situation now, because obviously we're probably going to get doubled up on, and we'll have to commit men forward for that. But what the idea of us kind of doing this is that if they are committing players over, that it kind of frees up at least Jackson or Palmer in the centre as players kind of come over to try and stop these runs in the midfield and out wide. It kind of opens up the central positions a bit more, so Palmer can get on the ball more, Jackson can get free to make runs, that type of thing. And as I said, I think this is a very important thing for us to do to stretch this play, because Jackson and Palmer are going to be really, really isolated in the centre of the pitch because of how deep they will play, and because they have the two holding midfielders as well as the two centre-backs. But yeah, so in order to get more space in those central areas, Neto or whoever is playing here and Madueke will need to get chalk on their boots. They'll need to be really, really far wide as possible, and again try and drag out as many players as possible. And as I said, we know that they will double up on us, maybe even triple up on us, so what we kind of need to do here is we'll have to commit that extra man forward. So obviously we're going to have support from whoever the midfielder is here, so Gusto, and we'll have this kind of 2v2, but if they bring their holding midfielder over here to kind of try and nullify this 2v2, obviously Fofana is going to have to try and get high up the pitch, and obviously I do need to move everyone over, because we are going to be playing much higher than this, I would imagine, in this kind of system. And obviously Colbert will probably go a bit wider for Larvid to kind of fill in here. But when we get into these situations, and let's say Madueke is on the ball here, he's being marked by his fullback, the winger is probably going to try and track either Gusto, who's going to be in this kind of midfield role, and obviously if he then gets doubled up on by the central midfield role, we're going to need to get Fofana high, or Lavia, if Lavia can go there as well, but I don't think he'll do that as much. And from here we now have a matched up 3v3, or if the central midfielder is being a bit lazy or is marking Palmer, for example, now we have this 3v2 advantage, and we can actually get in beyond them with passes. And I think this is kind of what we're going to need to do, is we're going to need to get Madueke into dangerous positions. We saw how against Arsenal, Wolves really struggled to deal with Bukayo Saka and Martinelli on the wings, but specifically Bukayo Saka they had a massive problem with, and he constantly getting into space, constantly driving, and obviously scored an absolute wonder goal from a position which Madueke is very comfortable getting into, these types of areas where he bent one into the far corner. We can see here that once we've done this and we've got this little triangle out over here with the ball, that if this player does come over to Mark Gusto, the amount of space that Palmer has is so much better. And obviously he's not going to just stay in the centre, he is a player that will roam, and he's going to come over to support. And I think that for the most part he'll actually be in this position more, with Gusto being a bit more reserved. And honestly we'll probably see Gusto playing as this player here. And what this kind of does in this scenario is, because they've committed so many men to the center of the pitch, it basically just means that like now they've got kind of wasted half their team. Half their team doesn't really need to be here because all the danger is on this side, and obviously Jackson can now move into this space and can kind of pick up the ball if the ball goes into Palmer, and he can play around the corner for Jackson, and we can drive forward into the box. But also Enzo, I feel like Enzo could kind of come over and take this position as well. And then obviously you know how good his passing is through the lines. We saw how well he passed against Servette to get an assist. So basically our whole game plan for this game will have to be, offensively anyway, we'll have to be trying to commit as many bodies from Wolves' side over to this wide area in order to create space in the central area and then play through there. Now, we know that Wolves like to commit really high up the pitch when they are on the ball as well, and or if they are pressing us when we're on the ball and we're in our first third. So if we could play through this and get onto the counter-attack, I think that we kind of saw from the Arsenal game that they weren't particularly great at defending transitions. They were a bit lax in getting back. And I think this could be a successful avenue for us, because obviously this is kind of what our game plan is revolving around. It's trying to play through the press and then get forward. And we have been seeing more recently, obviously a bit easier with Jurgensen in goal, we can actually do this and we can play through and then try and go forward. And I think this is one of the things and one of the kind of one of the key features of a Wolves game in general is that usually every single game that you see from Wolves is a very back and forth kind of basketball game where everyone is kind of counter-attacking each other. Against Arsenal, they've shared very much about 50% of the possession, and this has been the way that Chelsea versus Wolves has always gone. It's always been a goal fest. There's never really ever been games where we don't score a few goals or they don't score a few goals. Obviously last season they beat us 2-1 and then they beat us 4-2, so there's a lot of goals in these fixtures. So if we can kind of catch them out on these transitions where they are committing high up the pitch, because we know that they like to do that, hopefully we can get some successful avenues there. Likewise, another thing I kind of want to just briefly touch on is the fact that Wolves weren't particularly good at staying switched on during set pieces. They got caught out multiple times by quick free kicks, corners and stuff like that against Arsenal, so maybe that's something we can opt to do as well. For the most part though, as I kind of spoke about, our avenues to success are being able to play through the high Wolves press and also exploit the space out wide in order to create opportunities in the centre, because they are going to be very congested. They are going to defend very deep, I would imagine, for the majority of the time and try and break on us. And when they break on us, obviously we'll have to defend those transitions. We'll obviously have to see Gusto putting in an absolute shift to get back into his right back position from that centre mid position. Palmer is going to have to play a little tiny bit more defensively, I would imagine, in this system. But for the most part, hopefully he can be getting into the central position and actually dictating play from there. For a score prediction, I'm going to be predicting a victory for Chelsea, but I don't expect it to be very comfortable. I'm going for a 2-1 result, with Madueke continuing his goal scoring form and Cole Palmer scoring from the spot late on. As for the opposition, I wouldn't be surprised if we conceded from a set piece here, so I'll be giving the goal to Totti Gomes. We'll have to wait until the game to see if any of my predictions are correct, and as always, I'll be live streaming immediately after the game with Feeling Blue to review the match, so make sure you come through if you are able. But if you can't wait until then, YouTube reckons you'll enjoy one of these two videos on screen in the meantime. Thank you guys so much for watching as ever, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on you Blues.